Hi guys. Well, I know you're still trying to work out this whole lockdown thing and wearing masks and staying inside because, it's like...
Welcome to the apocalypse. I hope you like leather.
My son Isaiah is about 11 years old. He has this really funny thing that he's been doing lately. It's kind of a joke, but he does it a lot. He'll say things like, "Hey Dad, I took the trash out all by myself and you didn't even have to ask me." And then he'll kind of wink at me and say, "Maturing." And I want to tell him,
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Now, the word mature is a really interesting word. My son doesn't say, "I'm mature." He says, "I'm maturing." And I think it's because conceptually he understands that maturity is a moving target by definition. It's not that one day you're immature and the next day all of a sudden some switch has been flipped and now you're mature. Maturity means we're always moving forward, at least we should be. And Paul talks about this too in Philippians chapter 3, which is what we've been talking about, the letters from lockdown. So he says this about trying to live the kind of life that God tells him to live. He says, "I have not arrived at my goal. I'm not there yet. I'm never really going to say I'm totally mature." But this is the definition Paul gives us for maturing. He says, "I have not yet arrived at my goal, but I press on, forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead." I love that. A little bit later, he says this, "All of us then who are mature should take such a view of things." And he actually says at one point, if at some point you think differently, God's going to make that clear to you too. So Paul, all of us who are mature, are you calling yourself really, really mature?
I'm the best.
So obviously he's not saying that. He's not saying he's the best. He's not saying he's the most mature. What he is saying is that the view we need to take about maturity is that all of us continually get better. We're not going to reach our goal, but we are going to keep growing. Someone asked me, actually people ask me this a lot, what is a mature Christian? Because we talk about this a lot in church, that God wants us to be a mature Christian. My answer is always, what is a mature person? A mature person is the same as a mature Christian. It's someone who, they may not quite be there, but they're not going backwards. They're doing everything they can to move forward, to keep growing, and understand that it's a moving target. He then says this, "Only let us live up to what we have already attained." I find that to be an interesting statement. He's basically saying there's a lot that you already know. You already understand what you're supposed to be like, how you're supposed to live. And he says, do it. Do the things that God has called you to do. And sometimes I think that makes us really scared. It's like, God, there's no possible way that I'm going to win if I always have to be perfect. And you think that you're just going to be doomed if you keep trying.
You shall not pass!
But I don't think that's the case. I think what he's saying when he says, but be sure, just let's live up to what we have already attained. What he's saying, God is saying is, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe that you can actually grow. I believe you're not going to take 1,500 steps back. I know sometimes you feel like there's an ebb and flow, and you take, with the phrase that we use is 2 steps forward and a step backwards, or 2 steps backwards, and we're never quite, it's not always an even line. But if we understand that the goal is in front of us, and we take all these other things behind us and leave them in the past, and don't keep turning back to the dumb stuff we did before, I think all of us can be mature the way that Paul is saying. So God believes in you. We believe in you. Thanks for giving us this time tonight. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse!